Hello, beautiful and beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions, and welcome back. And if you wonder about that strange title, stick around to the end. I'm going to give you a special message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness for the entire population. So that's pretty cool. But first, we're going to start with a reaction to Disturbed Sound of Silence. I have never heard this band. You suggested it, so here we go.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence in rest.
He has a certain beautiful voice, doesn't he? And this song is just such a profound song. This one, it's just, what should you say? It like stands the test of time. It's always an amazing song, no matter when you do it. Let's continue.
The streams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stared by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence.
So it's like a very lonely song, a lonely song about being alone and silent. Now, I love to be alone in the silence because I'm always with the divine. So depends on what your perspective is, right? But this one clearly feels alone in the silence.
And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence.
So there's all this lack of communication, people talking without, this is true in our world, people talking without speaking, people listening without hearing, you know, all of this gobbledygook going on, and nothing really getting to the heart of the matter. That's what I get out of this.
Fools say that you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you, take my arms and I might reach you, but my words like silent raindrops fell, echoed in the wells of silence.
you'll hear that whole last verse. So I really, really got the meaning as he was doing this in a way that I haven't, I mean, I've heard that song a long time ago and thought, oh, it's poetic and whatever else, but this is like really, it's like talking, trying to bring a message to the people into like the void, and nobody's listening and nobody's hearing. We've had a lot of that, right? Haven't we? Especially over the past 10 years, like we're talking and nobody's hearing us, right? It's like, that's the craziness of this world we have. Let's hear that again though. Oh my.
Hear my words and I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell, echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, whispered in the sound of silence.
I mean, did he nail that song or what? He just nailed that song. Like, I think it was better. Do you think it was better than the original? I almost feel like it was better than the original. Holy moly. He just nailed it. Oh, my goodness. And you think about, like, it says, the people bowed and prayed to the neon gods they made. So it's like, this is what goes on in our world. Like, we create all this technology, schmechnology, and then it runs us. And then suddenly we let it run us instead of the other way around, right? Everything we have here that was supposed to be something for our to give us the ability to, have a better life, then suddenly it's all running us. And we gotta have our cell phone with us, and we gotta we can't even survive without looking at the TV or without electricity. God forbid, if your electricity goes out, it's like the world ended. They were thousands of years without electricity, right? Thousands of years. Now everything that we've created, it's like instead of us running it, it runs us. We got to be on the computer. We got to make sure we get all this stuff. I say as I'm like on the computer, right? But it is like it runs us instead of us running it. Holy moly. Ah, so powerful. What a great job this guy did. Thank you, Disturbed. That's so fabulous. What a message. And let's see, if we wanted to put it on my scale, 1 being very third dimensional, fear, pain, sadness, anger, and 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss, abundance. Like, he's trying to bring a message to us in this song. It is about the misery of third dimension, right? Which is like everybody's alone, nobody's communicating. You're letting everything, the technology you created, take over your life and everything else, right? And I'm just upgrading a little from what it was back then to neon lights, and now it is now. It's even worse, right? So it's like all about that third dimensional experience of life, right? And somebody's trying to get you out of it, like talking into the wilderness, right? But it's also, so it's about that, but it's also trying to bring you to another place so you can wake up, so you can see what's going on, so you can find another way, right? So in that sense, it's bringing you toward fifth dimension, but it's talking about third dimensional stuff. So with that in mind, 1 to 10, I'm going to go with like, because it's so, and we're not talking about how beautifully he did it. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 20, without a doubt, okay? But like, we're talking about like bringing us to 5D. I would go with like a 7 on this one, because it's really trying to wake us up and start us over in that direction, okay? Powerful song, powerfully sung. Wow, wow, wow. I really appreciated that and enjoyed it. Oh, and these kinds of like heartwarming songs or touching songs just make my day. So, and by the way, if you enjoyed it too, hit the like button for me, hit the like button for him. It's in the notes, okay? It's always in the notes. And subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I do something. And by the way, if you'd like to know a little bit more about me, you can go to the About Me video on this channel, and it leads you to a little longer video if you so desire. And also there's a link right here about Lorelei on Patreon, which is kind of a little summary of all the things I've created that you might want to be involved in to help sort of uplift you. And on that note, would you like for me to create a small little group in YouTube, like a few bucks a month, but you get extra special content to uplift you? Whether it be songs or meditations or, I don't know, whatever I can bring to you, maybe a live stream here and there. Would you enjoy that? Put that in the comments. And also put in the comments, I mean, what about this song? Tell me, like, how did this song move you like it moved me? I mean, it really, really moved me. I hope it moved you. Let me know in the comments. And, And by the way, if you'd like to support me, you can go to there's a support page on About Lorelei, and now they're supposed to be on this channel the super thanks, which I very much appreciate, and there's also a buy me a coffee here on this channel as well. So however you want to do it, I much appreciate it, and I thank those of you who have done it. It's really made a big difference for me. Okay, beloved one, so let's get to our message for today. Do we lose our ego/identities as we move to the fifth dimension? Do we lose our ego/identities? Now let's just first talk about this term ego. So there's two ways to look at ego, and one is the ego with a capital E, and that's the way the psychologists and psychiatrists and all of that think of, like, ego, the identity. What is your personal sort of identity? Like, it's specific to you and you alone. And it encompasses everything, the ego, the big E, the identity, right? Everything from soup to nuts, all that is good about you, how you love to cook, how you sing, how you are loving to other people, how you're happy, or whatever, all the good traits about you. And it includes the not so good traits. So you got a little bit of arrogance, you're sometimes snap at people, you don't believe in God, whatever, is all the stuff, or you do believe in God, all the stuff, good, bad, and the ugly, is what comprises our identity, or what we like to call our ego, what therapists and whatnot would call the ego, okay? And then there's that ego with the little e, right? And usually what we think of our ego with the little e is kind of like our arrogance, kind of like it's really just specifically like the negative, like, about us. Like, I would say, if we're ego based, it's all about me, me, me. Okay, it's all about what I want. It's all what I need. It's all of that, right? So that's our and an ego, like having an ego in the sense of, I think I'm so great, and I think I'm wonderful, and all that. So that's that little ego, okay? And that's the kind of stuff. So what I'm going to tell you first of all right now, and I explained about some of this in my last video, so go to the video Eva Cassidy, what's it called? Over the Rainbow, okay? So go to that video to see the little better explanation of what happens when we go to the fifth dimension. But we do then, in fact, keep our identity/ego intact when we go to the fifth dimension, but there's a shift in it. We're losing some of the parts of that. So what we're bringing with us to the fifth dimension in terms of our ego, big E, or identity, is all the good stuff about us. It's our sense of humor, it's our joyfulness, it's our wisdom, it's all the good things, what we would categorize as a good thing, how we care about people, how we whatever, all that categorized as a good part of us is our ego that's going with us to the fifth dimension. And all the muck and the mire, the little ego, the arrogance, the know-it-allness, the thinking me, it's all about me, that's what's not going. Okay? You see, so the identity shifts and changes in that it sheds all the muck and the mire. It sheds whatever it is you don't kind of you're not probably proud of about yourself. Okay? All those stuff that you're probably not proud of, or that other people, it bothers other people, all that stuff, that muck and that mire is being shed. I did many years of personal growth and development. And what we found and what I found and everyone found pretty much is that those muck and that mire, that like some of the things that are not really so very wonderful about our identity, is usually created through the experiences of life. Okay? And I'd say always, I wouldn't even say usually, I'd say pretty much always created through the experiences of life. And something happens to you and you decide, okay, I have to, stand up for myself. So that creates like a fighter in you, right? And then when you get married many years later, you're still looking to fight, maybe not physically, but with your words or whatever. So and there's tons of different ways. That's just one example, right? Could be a fighter, could be somebody who doesn't ever fight and, always gets walked all over. Everything, okay? All of that stuff is created by the experiences of life, okay? And that's what we call and all of that's in the realm of our little ego, right? Even that creation of a person who's arrogant is through the experiences of life, or a person who's all about me that comes from the experiences of life. But when you start to strip all that away, right, you're still left with something that's wonderful. As you can get rid of it all and you're left with something that is wonderful, that is you, like this glorious divine spark of God, but it's uniquely you. It's uniquely each and every individual with your own sort of signature on life, if you will, with your own little perspective on life, with your own abilities that you have, your own characteristics that are endearing, the characteristics that are endearing about you, right? We all have it. See, I've seen people go through the personal growth experience, and for even myself, 20 years, right? I was 17 plus years, right? I'll see somebody go through it for a couple of decades, and the crud drops away, but there's still something distinctly wonderful and distinctly unique about each individual person. Like we're never the same, even when all the crud drops away. We're each a unique, distinctive, different kind of individual. It's kind of like, what's the difference between, for instance, Saint Germain, Ascended Master Saint Germain, and Ascended Master Jesus, Yeshua? They're both Ascended Masters, right? But they're different. They have a different flavor to life. Just every single Ascended Master is Ascended Master Buddha, different from Jesus, different from Saint Germain. Each one has a different flavor. So when we go to the fifth dimension, we have our ego intact, our identity intact in the fifth dimension as that certain flavor that we are, as the flavor that I am as Lorelei, or you are, as whatever name you have, without the yuck and the muck and the mire, the stuff that we didn't particularly like about ourselves, but we didn't really know how to do it different, or that was just who we thought we were, but it's not really who we usually muck and mire is not who we actually are. It's what we picked up in life. I say always. I will stand by always. The muck and the mire is not the divine God spark that we are. It's what we picked up in life. So it's pretty exciting. You don't even have to lose anything going to the fifth dimension, except that which you probably don't want anymore. Whatever it may be, a tendency to snap at the kids, or tendency to go be depressed, or whatever it might be that you still carry around. That's all going away, and just the light and the spark and all the wonderful qualities that is you, that's coming with you. How cool is that? Okay, beloved one. So I'm sending you that beautiful fifth dimensional energy, the love, the peace, the joy, the bliss, that uniqueness that you are, that it may shine like a light, shine like a beacon, shine like a sun. Here it comes. Namaste. I honor the God in you.